And what is up, everyone? I am Joe DeHotis. I'm host of Beyond the Woodline. Real quick before we get started, as you guys know, I am the executive director for the JRG, which stands for the Jevning Research Group. It's headed up and founded by Mr. William Jevning. He's got, man, 50 years of experience in the Bigfoot world. He was friends with Renee Hendon and John Green, who are considered, the two pioneers in the Bigfoot world. We've got teams in New York State, Maine, Delaware, Florida, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Ohio, Michigan, um, California, Oregon, New Mexico, of course, here in Texas, where I'm at. If you're interested in joining the team, let us know, man. We'd be happy to hook you up, set you up, whatever state you're in, whether there's a team or not. Um, but if we set you up with somebody, we will vet them, we will vet you. We want everybody to take care of each other because, unfortunately, there are some crazy people out here in this world, right? But we ask you to do the same thing to research the researcher, what we always like to say. Also, if you guys are interested, hey Sandra, thanks for joining the show. I appreciate you. Um, and what's up? It's one of my cousins right there. Um, if you guys are interested, I have a young lady. Her name is Steffi. She's in the description. She makes some great paranormal equipment. She makes a couple. I got two REM pods behind me that she's made. I got a spirit box I need to put together that she sent me. Um, she is on Etsy, Steffi's Creations. Look her up. If you buy from her, use discount code Woodline. You get 15% off. I don't get any kind of a discount. She doesn't get sponsored a show. She doesn't give me any kickbacks. She's just a great person, makes great product, and I just want to give her a shout out. Again, she's not sponsoring me in any way, shape, or form, guys. And with all that being said, that's right. The Sandy's the forest, brother. Um, with all that being said, I know you guys don't tune in to hear me ramble off all night. I have with me Paul and Daniel from After Walker Paranormal. How are you guys doing, guys?
Doing all
Good.
right.
How are you? How are you tonight?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Thanks a lot for doing the show. I do appreciate it. I saw
Absolutely.
you.
We
Yeah,
appreciate you having us.
yeah. I saw you guys on TikTok, man. You guys have some great content. You really do. Some of the best out there. And
Oh, thank you.
you guys always like you're having fun too, man. And I think that's very important. Um,
Yeah.
doing this stuff. If you're not having fun and able to laugh at sometimes, I just don't know why people would do it.
Well, and I appreciate you saying that because one thing that I we try to bring to the paranormal community is the fact that paranormal energy can be triggered from any energy. Um, think about laughter. What's up, Bud Files? Think laughter, anger, any of these things can trigger energies. Think about the stone tape theory. Okay, what
Mhm.
is the stone tape theory? It's the theory that the walls around us, basically, to put it in a nutshell, so it records over a course of time.
Right.
Well, what causes that energy to release? Well, maybe, of course, this is all theory. When the atmosphere is just right, maybe
Yeah.
a certain person, a laughter in the house right at the right time, causes that residual energy to come out. So we are believers in letting life happen around us, being real. We're gonna talk. We're gonna be who we are. At the same time, we're gonna try to bring you some good paranormal content, and I feel like we kind of get there. So
Exactly. Yeah, and that's a great answer too, man. But
appreciate
real
it.
quick, yeah. What got you guys started into the whole paranormal field? And Paul, you can go first.
Who? Well, aside from the simple fact that I have had experiences my whole life, everything has just led me to it. And then I'm not gonna. Okay, so I'm 50 years old. Growing up with the experiences that I've had, I've never thought of, you know, hunting for that. I've always been a sky watcher. I've always been attuned. I'll be looking down a hallway. If I think something's creepy. But I'll be honest with you, it wasn't until the original Ghost Hunters show came out, I was like, holy crap, people can actually do this. We can actually do this. Um, my interest started then. I'm not going to say that's when I started. I guess technically got started about 13 years ago, but I've been my most active in the last 5, pretty much. But really, it was just the experiences I went through in my life, and just wanting to know what that is, what causes this. So that's why we explore the paranormal energies of everything. We do dolls, we do Vietnam era war artifacts. What kind of energies do these things soak up? We do regular investigations as well.
Yeah.
But for TikTok and stuff like that, we do go, like tonight we'll do our flea market phantoms, where tonight we're featuring these 2 dolls picked up at a thrift store.
You can kind of see them.
Hey, look, the K2's actually going off right here. It just popped. I don't know if you can see that behind us, but anyway, and we'll change them out. Get different things. And again, it's because we believe that everyday life, if we are made of energy, and if energy doesn't change form, if energy doesn't go away, it doesn't get, right. It doesn't get destroyed. It only changes form. Then where does it go? Where does it go? So again, anything can trigger paranormal energy. And I believe, and that's what I'm trying to prove. So that's what's pretty much, my driving force, so to speak.
What really set this off was the investigation at the backwoods cabin with me singing. Because all I did was sing a little bit of a song, and we got an incredible response that we don't know. We're going back here in a couple weeks.
Yep, December 20th.
We're going to see if we can prove that that was either stone tape and it was set off by that, or it was intelligent and was appreciative of me singing my song.
Yeah.
Shortly after we did that part of the experiment, we had to get out of there because the energy there was so thick.
Yeah.
We were drained.
And where was this at again?
It was actually at an abandoned cabin in Shady Grove, Oklahoma, on a 250-acre hunting area. The cabin does get used on occasion, but pretty much it just sits there empty. And the owner of the property had some interesting pictures of his deer stand. And he said, plus there's the cabin. They call it a cabin. It's really just a trailer with like a covering over it. It's facing this beautiful pond. It kind of reminds me of Friday the 13th, Crystal Lake, and Jason Voorhees. It's kind of creepy. Seriously, it's a little creepy just that alone. But you walk in and you just have this pounding energy, and the responses we were getting though that particular night was nonstop, amazing, on point, relevant, timely. And then, come about 2:00 in the morning, we were just like, we had to be done. We could have just kept going all night, nonstop, but we were drained. We just physically had to get out of there, which was kind of awesome because in all the years I've been doing this, I've never felt anything like that. Not like that. Not like that.
In all the year that the 1 year that I've been doing this.
So to answer his question,
no, I'm pretty fresh at this. I've learned a lot, but with some of the experiences that I've had, growing up and within my adult life, there's no question that paranormal is real. I mean, and then meeting Paul at work and going from there and starting in on this, our first big investigation was absolutely creepy, and had some actual screaming and running, which we don't suggest ever.
No,
but
it was, yeah.
But
My daughter.
it was Paul's daughter, and she's still kind of young, and she got creeped out. And
she's been on multiple investigations. Well, we were at the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame in Muskogee, Oklahoma, investigating 121-year-old building, and in the museum area, we were doing our solos, and it was her turns doing a solo, 30-minute solo in the museum area. Well, it was her turn. I think she went second. Yeah, she went second because Daniel went first.
I went first.
So she goes back there, and in between two of the showcases was this little 2.5 foot, 3 foot tall statue of whatever godforsaken creature that they made this statue of, because she noticed that statue there. Mm-hmm. So we use this ITC app. So she sat down in the chair. I said, all right, I'm out of here. I got her situated. I walked out. 30 seconds later, the ITC app said, statue. She was like, nope, done, out of here. Out, see ya. She tore off. I have videos on all of this on our TikTok channel and Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. So.
And somebody asked, where are you guys from? Missed the beginning. Hello from Muskogee.
Curtis, we're from Chakotah.
Yep, Chakotah, Oklahoma.
We're not far.
Yeah.
What's up, Devlin?
So Daniel, what actually made you say, you know what, I want to join this guy? I want to go check it out. I mean,
it's crazy.
Well, we had been friends for a little while. We worked at the school here at Chakotah together for a couple of years, and
thank you, Curtis.
He didn't really realize that I was into all of this until about February of this year, or maybe even January.
No, are you asking when
we actually started talking about doing it?
Yeah,
it was about January.
We actually got started in February of this year,
and we just kind of fell into it and rolled with it.
Okay, so here's how the story goes. So I had my old team. I had been on a little hiatus, and I was looking to get going, and I was looking for somebody to get going with, and it was one of those things, I knew that he had some paranormal interest. We'll just say we had some similar beliefs. So one day, my wife and I were at the local Walmarts, and his wife and mother-in-law were at the local Walmarts, and everybody meets up at the local Walmart, and and it just dawned on me. I kind of leaned at my wife and I said, I just found my new partner. So like a couple days later, I was like, ho hum, kind of beating around the bush. And I was like, I got a question to ask you. You mind if, and it's not appropriate here, do you mind if I, come over to your house or whatever and talk to you? And so we set up a time, and I went over and I asked him, and his eyes got about as big as around his plates, and he was like, hell yes.
So did you get down on one knee, or did you just...
No.
There was a ring and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good to hear. Good to hear, man. Yeah, that's pretty good. I was asking because I actually got engaged Saturday. Yeah.
Congratulations, man. Awesome.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that's pretty good, man. So, like, what's your most compelling I don't know if you want to call it a piece of evidence or validation for you, Daniel, that there's something that was out there during your investigation.
I don't know about humming. My favorite is the humming.
The humming. That's not compelling. I agree. It's not, because you can. There's actually 4 people involved. Anyway, yes, we have a bodied humming. Oh man, it's a good video. That is probably one of my all-time favorites.
It's kind of hard to prove it just for the fact that there are
multiple people
in the
video. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to prove it, but
none of the people who were in the video are hummers.
None. Yeah, none of them are hummers. None of us hum. However, I think the most compelling. Man, I'm sorry, I went off like crazy back there, but again, you know what? I even use that. You know, that's, to me, that's an energy that might spur, some type of paranormal energy. Life in general, things that happen in everyday life. The most compelling.
Yeah.
So we were doing a private residence investigation in Oklahoma City. Yeah. And I was behind the camera, and Daniel and April were in the living room. And of course, we didn't see this at the time. We did not see this at the time. We are moving from left to right, and I think were we doing baseline?
We were just doing baseline.
Yeah, we were doing baseline. This was at the very beginning of the investigation. Just baseline, walk around, doing baseline investigation, taking the EMF readings, temperature readings, all that good stuff. Well, in review, we had this mist, and again, I have these videos out there on our pages, so go check them out. This mist drops down, tightens up, then spreads out and shoots.
It shot it right in between.
Just shoots off like camera right. Just like it knew where it was going, like intelligent, like it slunk down, tightened up, and then just shot off.
It's really cool.
Now, mind you, when we do private residence investigations, we turn ACs off. There's no ceiling fans on. We try to control the climate as much as possible. And just such a random shot too. There was no reason for this. There was, yeah. So very compelling. Very compelling. Absolutely.
Do you know the history of that place?
I'm sorry?
Do you know the history of that place, of that location?
Well, a little bit, yeah. It was it's a rental house. It had been a rental house for many years.
For a little over 30.
A little over 30 years. So think about the negative energies, the positive energies that are out of there. People, different people bringing in their life situations and their energies, and then moving out. Then another group of people bringing their life energies, and that house soaks up all kinds of energy. Just think about that, man. That type of house that has that kind of life in itself.
Yeah,
it's amazing to think about. It really is the type of, and that's why I'm a major proponent of the stone tape theory, because I can see the truth in it. I can see the truth in it.
One thing I wanted to ask you guys, because you talked about the mist, right? And I know there'll be a lot of people out there trying to debunk it, and which is fine. I welcome that kind of stuff too.
Right.
But what do you guys think about orbs?
That's tricky.
Yeah.
Orbs are tricky. I am not against the thought of orbs, because we've gotten real orbs.
Right.
So or at least, but there's too many people that will call a bug an orb. or call dust orbs. And that kind of makes us draw back on putting what we believe to be an orb as evidence, because there's too many people that are going to just shoot it down because there's too many people that call other things orbs.
Right.
So, if there've been twice that we have put orbs forward.
About 3 times. Yeah, 3 times.
But we're real selective about
I
doing that.
So in my experience, I do agree that I'm gonna go kill a dog here in a minute.
You guys,
I do agree that
I can hear you sometimes when you're talking. The dog's barking over you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if he's barking at us.
Could be.
I don't know what's going on. Why is he barking like that?
There's no telling.
Might have a possum trap for all I know. Anyway, while he's quiet, in my experience, I do believe that 90% of orbs are dust particles, moisture particles, bugs, so on and so forth. However, you do have that 1,000th of a percentage that just don't seem to fit.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen orbs that change direction, seem to have their own energy source. I've seen orbs that literally, we did a long time ago with an old group of mine. We did an investigation at a fire station, and we had a shot of an orb that literally climbed up the fire truck. That's wasn't a bug. I mean, not the way it was moving. Anyway, I'm trying to think. I've actually got a video of an orb that literally manifests from behind a couch and shoots towards the camera and then turns right. And just seeing that, it's just like, no, that's not dust. That's not bugs. That's nobody, it's not. However, no, like Daniel said, I definitely am not going to see every little particle in the air and go, "Oh, that's an orb." Very, very picky. As a matter of fact, it's been a long time since I've seen an orb that caught my interest. It's probably been since trying to think of that one investigation we did that had that crazy orb. Well, Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City, yeah. That was we had some crazy orbs in that one. That's actually one where I had one that just went multiple directions.
The pink one.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, orbs like he said are tricky. We kind of stay away from them unless they just really stand out as like really, really different. I want to wring a dog's neck. I don't know. It has to do this right now.
Yeah. Well, don't wring his neck live on my podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love my dogs. Don't get me wrong, but why right now?
Oh man, I've got a dog too, and he's a big old dog, and man, his bark is the most aggravating thing in the world. I was asking you guys too. A lot of your content is at cemeteries. Well, a lot of what I've seen is at cemeteries. What do you guys? Apparently, you're cool with it, but there's people in the community saying you shouldn't be going to cemeteries. Let the people rest or whatever. I've done it. I'm cool with it. And so, I mean, what's your outtake on that?
Everybody's got their own beliefs.
Look at that. And now you want to talk. Now you want to bark.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Really? Gunner, shut up. Actually, I think that's Angel. I have 2 dogs. I do think that, everybody has their own beliefs, and that's okay. They can believe what they want to believe, but it's kind of like don't force your beliefs on somebody else type of thing, just because somebody may believe that. Don't start a war because you believe something different. I mean, it's okay to have different beliefs and different opinions. absolutely. We can conversate about those things. But yeah, other than that, I actually like going out to graveyards. We've been out to some very peaceful ones.
Yeah.
We've got a creepy one planned here before too long. It starts to warm up a little bit. It's a good creepy one.
And I think that if there are spirits there and they want to communicate with you, they will. If they don't, they're not going to.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And that goes for anywhere, really.
Yeah, I've been to graveyards and not getting nothing.
Yeah.
Graveyards and not. I am going to go for dog problem real quick because it's getting annoying. I'll be right back.
All right.
Talk to Daniel.
Okay.
You can go see if you can take care of that dog.
Okay. Yeah, as long as I hear no yiking. Yeah. So what was your first investigation with Paul?
My first investigation with Paul was the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame.
Okay. What was your experience there?
We had a lot going on that night. That was where we had the humming, which we didn't find that until we were looking at the evidence. We saw a lot of shadows, which that was the original report anyways, was seeing shadows. There's actually a radio station in there as well that, the guy that runs it gets in there 5 o'clock in the morning. He opens the door to the radio station, which is open to the rest of the building. And he sees shadows run up and down the fully lit hallway that is right there outside of that. Had some interesting ITC things going on. But all in all, it was a full-on creepy night.
You talk about the first
Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame.
Well, yeah, we got an EVP.
We did. Oh yeah, we did.
Got the EVP of yes.
It said yes.
We got did the whole what's it called? Shoe shine 2 bits. Got a reaction to that. Like you said, we got some really neat ITC reactions, responses. We were using music because obviously we were in a place that played music. So we were using music as trigger object, just trigger. And at one point, we actually got the name of one of the that we were playing, their name on the one of the ITC apps that we used. So that was interesting. A lot of knocks, a lot of strange taps and tacks and tips and knocks. It was just, it was creepy. And that back bathroom, man.
Oh yeah, the back bathroom was
crazy. Crazy.
It scared me to death because I walked in behind Paul and turned the camera directly towards the mirror, and I saw myself there, and I about ran away.
Yeah.
But really, though, I think the craziest thing though is we went back for a second time that last July, and so they have a real caboose that they have turned into. Well, it used to be like a little kids learning area. Now it's kind of a dressing room type of thing / office. Anyway, he goes back there to do his. We drew spots to where to go do solos, and he chose the caboose. And we had the REM pod that was in there just started going off.
Yeah,
I'd walk close to it, it'd start going off. Walk close to it, it'd go off. It was just like, okay, what's going on here? It was like almost like my energy from 3 or 4 feet away was setting it off, which, that's not how REM pods work. But after I left, he continued to have some REM pod activity and some pet ball activity.
Even with backing off away from the devices. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I'd actually like to go back for a third time. It's an interesting building.
It was a freight depot.
The Frisco Freight Depot, and now it's the Oklahoma Music Hall of Fame. 121-year-old building.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty
seen
cool,
a lot
man.
of history.
Yeah. And Daniel, you talked about seeing yourself and getting scared right in the mirror. But have you guys ever been truly scared?
I've been well and freaked out, but I don't know about so scared that I would leave a place.
I got close. I know I've been startled a few times. I had a good startle in Oklahoma City when that fan popped, made that big bang. Yeah, was not expecting that. That was timely. But honestly, when we were doing the Demons, Dogs, and Deities,
and
that
energy rush.
That energy rush, man. I was like, because if you remember, I was like, do we need to leave?
Yeah.
I was almost ready to pull up and just say, okay, I think we're done for the night, because I don't know what we did, but we pissed something off that didn't like it, and we heard a strange noise coming from the woods behind us, and then this rush of forceful energy, and that was an interesting night. We were so with that being said, we were doing an energy experiment, and this is where I feel like, as paranormal investigators, we have to be able to push the limits. Something that we can quantify, something that we can, measure, right? So we set up an experiment where it was a 3-week experiment. It was called Demons, Dogs, and Deities, where the first night we had a Baphomet banner and the Anton LaVey Satanic Bible, and we took it out to a pet cemetery, and we draped everything out and set everything out, and we measured the energies of that night. The following week, we took away the Baphomet banner and the Anton LaVey Satanic Bible, and we put in its place a Christian Bible and a crucifix. Energies of that night. And that was a crazy night. And then on the third night, we put them all together. Thing about it is that crazy, which I believe it might have been some form of elemental energy. I don't know what it was, but that was on the second night of Demons, Dogs, and Deities, when we had the Christian Bible and the crucifix set up.
And Devlin's right. That's the night that you got pushed over.
That is the night that I got put. Thank you, Devlin. That is I got pushed that night too. So that was a very interesting night indeed. Thanks for reminding me, Devlin. Yeah.
Where were you at when you got pushed?
We were at the Mabry Lions Pet Cemetery.
No,
Here.
But I mean, what
we were talking with Spirit through ITC device, and we said closer. I said okay, so I went and got closer to the devices, to our little staged area, and I got down on the ground. I was there for a few minutes. My arm kept setting off the REM pods. I was like, okay, I'm moving. So I kind of moved. I was crouched down, and I had my hand setting out because I think I was like, use my energy. And all of a sudden, I got just pushed enough from behind to make me flop, forward.
Yeah, he fell down to all fours.
Yeah, I went down to all fours, and I turned around because I was like, okay, I absolutely felt that.
He thought I had snuck up behind him.
I mean, I felt that, I literally felt it.
I'm not beyond that.
So. No, he's not. But that was an interesting night for sure. But I don't think I've ever come across anything as of yet that has made me run. But that energy later on that night was probably one of the closest things, because I was about ready to go, and I was like, no, let's wait it out.
And Sandra wants to know: do you carry any type of protection from evil spirits, or do you do
Well,
anything really to protect yourselves?
well, actually, we do. I mean, I wear a troll cross. I do consider myself a pagan. So I have my troll cross. I have my protection symbols. I do carry crystals with me. I wear crystals. I keep crystals on me. We do smudges. So there's things that we do inside and out on just an everyday basis, just to keep those evil, negative spirits away from us. Even just going to work, I want to keep those negative energies away from me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather deal with a spiritual negative energy than some knucklehead at work sometimes, But yeah, I mean, we both do that. We both are into crystals and how they can protect you and how they can heal your body and all that. So,
What about some equipment? What's your favorite pieces of equipment to use?
what's your favorite piece of equipment?
My favorite piece of equipment, I think. That's going off right there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
ATDD going off right now.
Honestly, I would think that's one of my favorite pieces of equipment right there.
The PSB7 Pro, the PSB7T.
Okay.
That and probably pet balls. They're simple, and it doesn't take a lot to set them off, but it takes something to set them off.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I really like our paranormal music box. We have that crypto chords from Vortex Ghost Gear, and
it sounds like this.
and here's why I like it is because typically I was gonna say you can shut up now. Typically, you want to use paranormal music boxes indoors. It is an indoor device. However, we have used this on a good, calm night, and it has rendered some very interesting results. However, we are outside, so there's a lot of different, light factors, wildlife, there's a lot of factors. However, using control methods such as cameras, lights, so on and so forth, it's yielded some pretty interesting results. Of course, you don't want to use a sensory device such as that outside, windy, rainy, or anything like that. But at night, it can be, just like people who say, shouldn't use REM pods at night or outside. I've had more REM pod activity indoors than I've ever had outdoors, and I use them outdoors. I don't have any problems. I've had REM pods go off outdoors, but I have no issues with using REM pods outdoors. I've never seen the proof that a gust of wind will set them off.
Yeah.
Right.
Dakota Indian Territory Cemetery, man.
Oh, yeah.
That really windy night. We had two antenna REM pods out, and neither one of them were going off.
No, but it was blowing cameras over.
It was blowing everything over. That was a crazy night.
Yeah, I've used them outdoors too, and it's never like bothered me or made me think that something was going on other than what I think was going on. I don't think the environment really affected them that much or at all, really.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And again, it comes down to each his own. People have their own beliefs, what they want to use. All I have to say to all the paranormal teams out there watching. It's okay to have different opinions. You know, it's okay to do things different from another paranormal team. It's fine. You know, we can all learn from one another.
Yeah.
And
you know, and in reality, man, keep it honest. You know, like you were saying a while ago that your elbow was setting off the REM pod. You know, just be honest. Hey, you know what? This could be going on. You know, this is probably me or something else. You know, and you know, I think or like we were talking about the orbs earlier. If you're somewhere where it's misty or dewy, there's probably a droplet. You know, just be honest with yourself and keep yourself honest. I think. What about apps? Do you guys use apps?
Actually, yeah, we use we use the PSB7 obviously as an ITC device. We like to use GhostTube and Spirit Talker. Not the only two that I feel like have ever given me any legit relative timely responses.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I've only just turned myself back on to Spirit Talker because when I remember when that first came out, it was not good at all. So Spirit Talker has made some major improvements. Yeah.
Yeah, I've used the Ghost Tube and I've liked it. I've never had any issues with it. And like I said, I had good results, and it wasn't like it was something out of left field. It was what was related with what was going on.
So in the early years when these apps first started coming out, I just kept going back to GhostTube, and I've just always went back to GhostTube. And because, like you said, it's just the responses are good. Now, you do have to sift through some randomness, but when you're talking and you get a relative and timely response, and you feel that, and you know that's what it's saying. Man, GhostTube is great at that. Great at that. And we like to use Spirit Talk, and we like to use them in conjunction as well. But here's an ITC app. It's not an app; it's a device that we've been using for about 6 months.
Yeah, about 6 months.
It's the Chattergeist from Dimension Devices out of the UK. It is an Ovilus type device. It's small. It fits in that little box right there.
Right there.
Okay. I'll have to pop it out. It's got 3 different sensors. It's got a dictionary mode, just like the Ovilus. It's got multiple modes. It's got an 8-ball mode, like a magic 8-ball mode. It's got a phonetic mode. It's got a number mode, which I have yet to really figure out how to use. It's got multiple functions. And again, we got this out of Dimension Devices out of the UK. And this is a really neat device. And again, it works a lot like an Ovilus. We like to run it on the silent dictionary mode, and it'll just throw out a word. It's got 3 different sensors on it.
It just shows up. I'll get it close.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that. I need to check that out. Yeah. You can send me the link after the show.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which Dimension Devices has got some pretty cool stuff.
They're pretty much geared towards that device and the stuff that goes with it.
Yeah.
I think you're
okay. Yeah,
because Dimension Devices pretty much just geared towards that device right there. But Vortex Ghost Gear, beside the Crypto Cord Paranormal Music Box, they've got some really neat stuff. Go check out Vortex Ghost Gear. Go check out. They are not sponsors of ours by any means necessary. We've just bought their equipment, and we like it. It works. We love using it. So I have no issues with throwing out the names of these privately owned paranormal investigator-owned companies who are putting out good quality products. Yeah, to help us along the way through our journey of trying to figure what all this means.
Yeah, man, I I agree, man. I love people who make good product, and when you use it, it works the way it's supposed to. And hey, that's what I've said about my friends from Steffi's Creation, man. She makes some really good products. And there's my mom.
Right.
Say hi to my mom.
Hi, Mom.
So what do you guys have coming up next? What's your next adventure?
Well, December 20th, we're going back to the Backwoods Cabin in Shady Grove, Oklahoma for our Haunted Yule special. Of course, the 20th is the night before
it's Yule Eve.
Yule Eve, the winter solstice. Fascinated. Yule is a 16-day celebration, but we're going to kick it off Friday night, December 20th, live on TikTok and YouTube, as we're going to continue to investigate this crazy backwoods cabin in Shady Grove, Oklahoma. Of course, we're always live Monday night doing our flea market phantoms. Thank you, Long Hair Cook. Appreciate that. And then we are live on Friday nights doing either our Meat Hall Live, our Cliff's Kitchen, or doing whatever investigations that come our way. But we're always live on Mondays and Fridays.
And what's going on tonight, you said? It was called what?
Well, so when we're done here, we're just pretty much going to flip the TikTok camera around, and we're going to do our
flea market phantoms.
Our flea market where we're going to test the energies of they've been quiet tonight so far. I'm actually quite surprised that I guess they're enjoying the show, because honestly last week when we did this the first night with them, we like to do things a couple weeks, moon phases, different energies of the moon and all that, and see what happens. We didn't get a whole lot that really seemed to connect with these dolls. However, we were getting a lot of interesting responses. Have a whole lot of activity device either. K2 on the blue doll right here, Cat Populus. Right now, it's not.
Yeah, it's not doing anything tonight.
Anyway, we're going to find out, see what happens tonight.
And there's one other question I want to ask you guys, too. What do you guys think about the Ouija board? Do you guys ever mess with that? Have you ever played with it?
No.
So, go ahead.
I won't mess with one.
Okay.
There's too much. For one thing, there's too much stigma around them. For another thing, that's a great way to invite something in that you don't want. I have zero problems with pendulums because it's and things of the like. Osteomancy, I don't have a problem with that. It's reading bones. But you're allowing the spirit to affect the object and not you. Whenever you're doing the Ouija board, you're kind of inviting a spirit to even attach to you. Sometimes that's okay. Most of the time, it's not a great idea.
Yeah, I kind of grew up. My mother, we actually had a Ouija board around the house, but my mother would never let us play with it really, because she always said it was serious business.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna conjure up something that's gonna, she'd say something, bite your head off at night or something. Excuse me. But as I did grow older and learn more, I do think that Ouija boards, people who know them properly, and that's fine. I know some paranormal groups out there that use them, and that's on them. That's fine. However, I do think it is easy to, with a physical item like that, to leave a door open. I do not believe, a lot of people say there's not a whole lot of difference when using a spirit box and a Ouija board. I think there is. You're dealing with frequencies and energies with the spirit box. And with a Ouija board, you are physically connecting with those energies.
You become the conduit.
You become the conduit, and it's a much different premise. I think that Ouija boards can be very dangerous. I really do. Again, my opinion, but there you have it.
Yeah. I don't fool with them just because I do have my doubts about whether or not they're safe or not. But I don't see anything wrong with other people. They want to fool with it.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I don't judge anyone by what they do as long as they're not out causing harm or causing drama or going someplace and causing damage.
Right.
Man, do what you want to do. Just if it makes you happy, be happy. Where I'm living at now, one of my neighbors a couple of years ago was like, he's like, hey, the people that lived there before you, they used to have seances there. He's like, has anything ever strange happened there? I'm like, no. I said, either they didn't know what they were doing and they never opened anything, or they knew what they were doing and they closed everything right. So
yeah,
there's nothing here. So I think that's important too. Yeah. But yeah, man, real quick, why don't you guys give a shout out to your social media, all your platforms, where people can find you at?
Yeah. Well, of course, you can find us on TikTok at afterwalker.paran, Paran. Facebook at Afterwalker Paranormal. Instagram at Afterwalker Paranormal. You can find us, we are new on Threads. We're finally on Threads, so you can find us there now. I didn't realize that before you even got on Threads, you automatically started getting followers because it's connected to your meta, I guess. Because when I finally opened up my Threads, we already had like 130 some odd followers. I was like, okay, I just started this, but that was cool. So that was kind of neat. But of course, YouTube, Afterwalker Paranormal. Am I missing anything? Of course, LinkedIn, X. We're at Paranormal Green on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Dying platform. It is, man. That's a dying platform, unfortunately. It used to be so thriving. But am I leaving anything out?
Email.
Yeah, email address at afterwalkerparanormal@gmail.com. It's pretty simple there. And anything else?
I think that's what we're on.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, follow us on Facebook. And that's where you're going to get the majority of our information. Of course, you can always find us on Linktree as well. But yeah, I'd say the majority of our information is on Facebook. Yeah, we're easy to find.
Cool. And what's the one place you want to go investigate?
The one place I want to go investigate. I would
love to go to the Winchester House.
The Winchester House, yeah, that would be cool. I know this sounds kind of funny. This may sound kind of funny because I don't think they even have anything open up to this. But have you ever heard of the Cave of the Winds in Colorado?
I've never heard of that. No.
Well, it's a big cave system, vast cave system, and a lot of happenings that has happened down there. And I would love to go to the main pit area and investigate that area in the total darkness. Again, it's not your typical answer of Pennhurst or whatever, asylum or whatever. But yeah, Cave of the Winds, man, Cave of the Winds cave. People were trapped down there. I mean, there's some. If I remember right, there were some deaths that happened earlier in the existence of it. But yeah,
yeah, it's pretty interesting. I've never heard of it. I'm gonna have to look that up. But yeah, man, thanks a lot for the guys for doing the show, man. I do appreciate it, man. We've come to the end. Ready to wrap
thanks
up.
for having
us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If you guys ever need me to share anything out or for you guys, just hit me up. I'll be happy to share it, tag me in it, whatever you guys want to do.
Hey, same here, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And everyone in the comments, thanks a lot for joining the show and commenting. Hey, Greg, I saw you earlier. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Hey, you guys, everything else you want to add or want to say before we leave?
Well, I mean, we appreciate you having us on. Look forward to hopefully seeing some new faces out there.
Absolutely.
And yeah, hey man, again, we enjoyed being on, so appreciate it. And just like we tell all of our fans out there, keep it creepy.
There you go. Yeah, I saw that you guys said that a couple of times on your TikTok, so I was watching that today, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. I meant to actually mention it, but that's pretty cool that you mentioned it. But
I appreciate that.
yeah. Everyone else, like I said, thanks for joining the show tonight. I have a show next Monday, and as you guys know, I never know who's going to be on next Monday, but I'll be sure to promote it when I get everything together. You guys hold on real quick. Don't go anywhere. Everyone else, you guys have a great night. Thanks for tuning in.
Sounds good.